이번 주에도 어김없이 돌아온 한국어 영어 팟캐스트 하프앤하프의 정태용입니다. 반갑습니다.
And I'm Jeep. Welcome to Half and Half. I want to have Taeung Same introduce the topic for today, but I think it'll be really interesting. Please introduce this topic.
좋습니다. 5월은 가정의 달이죠.
Yes, it's Family Month in Korea.
네, 한국에서 가정의 달인데 어린이날도 있고 또 5월 8일은 어버이날입니다.
Yes. So in this month, there is Children's Day. There's several other holidays, and then there's also Parents' Day in Korea.
그렇습니다.
Okay. So the reason I wanted you to introduce this is because I wanted to ask, why in Family Month did you choose Parents' Day to do an episode about that? Is that the biggest holiday in Family Month, or like what reason did you choose this one instead of Children's Day or something?
그게 여러 번 얘기했다시피 항상 주제를 고르는 게 좀 버거워지고 있잖아요, 요즘.
Sure, yeah, okay.
아이디어가 거의 다 떨어져서.
I'll come up with more ideas then. I have plenty.
아니 근데 막 얘기하기 어려운 이상한 주제들 막 얘기하잖아요.
I thought the weird ones were the more fun ones, though.
아니 근데 좀 가끔 너무 뭐 이상한 게 좀 많아서.
Okay, all right. I'll start coming up with good ones instead of weird ones. Then I can do that.
좋습니다.
Okay. Okay. So there was no specific reason you chose this holiday instead of some other holiday during Family Month? I'm just curious.
그렇죠. 또 뭐.
Yeah.
그러니까 어버이날을 꼭 기념하고 싶었던 이유는 사실 전혀 아니고요.
Okay.
그냥 적절한 타이밍.
Okay, just good timing for when we post videos and stuff like that.
네.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about the English side of it just for a second, or the Western side of it. So we don't have Parents' Day in the West. We have Mother's Day and Father's Day. They're two separate holidays, two separate months. So Mother's Day is in May and Father's Day is in June. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that sounds right. In USA. I'm pretty sure Canada has the exact same Mother's Day, Father's Day. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Yeah. And then just very briefly on Children's Day, there's no such thing as Children's Day in USA or Canada. But Canada has Family Day. Yeah.
그 패밀리 데이는 몇 월 달에 있어요?
I think it's in April. I mean, like I've only lived in Canada for 5 years, but I still haven't figured out all of their holidays. I think it's in April, or maybe March, but I'm pretty sure April. Family Day, I would say, is similar to Parents' Day from what I've heard about Parents' Day in Korea. So maybe, how about this? What happens on Parents' Day? Parents' Day. Can you explain the Korean traditions of Parents' Day?
네, 좋습니다. 일단 지프 얘기 간단하게 정리를 하면
Yeah.
미국, 캐나다에는 어버이날이 따로 없고 어머니의 날, 아버지의 날이 분리되어 있는데
Yeah.
그게 5월이랑 6월에 있네요.
That's right.
근데 뭐 비슷하네요, 시기가.
On each day, they're actually a little different. So, for example, mother. Okay, go ahead.
그러니까 그 한국의 어버이날이 5월인데
Okay, yeah.
그 미국, 캐나다는 5월, 6월이니까
Right.
그게 약간은 비슷하네요.
Okay, sure. Okay.
그 말이고. 네, 그리고
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
네네네. 그래서 다시 지프의 질문으로 돌아가면 일단 전통적인 거는 카네이션 장식을 만들어서
The children make a carnation, or the parents make a carnation?
자식들이요.
Okay, the children.
네, 자식들이 제가 어릴 때는 항상 종이 막 접고 자르고 해서
Okay.
카네이션 모형을 만들어서 그 부모님들 여기 옷에 이쪽에 달아줬는데 뭐
I've
실제
actually-
꽃을
I've actually never heard that. That's interesting. Okay, go ahead.
아 그래요?
Yeah, yeah.
아, 근데 이게 제가 꼬맹이일 때 얘기라 지금은 없어졌을 수도 있어요.
Oh, okay, okay.
근데 지금도 그 전통은 대표적이긴 할 거예요.
Okay. That's the
네,
main
그래서
thing.
카네이션을 달아준다.
Okay. So, because I never think about carnations, carnation, can it be any kind of flower or is it a specific kind of flower? I actually don't.
맞네요. 빨간색 카네이션이에요.
Okay, it's a red flower.
네, 빨간색 카네이션이고
Yeah.
그 부모님이 가시나 그러면은 그러니까 먼저 죽으셔서 돌아가셔서 그러면은 그 뭐 묘지
The gravestone. Yeah.
네 거기에
Or at the cemetery.
흰색 카네이션
Oh, so if your parents have died or if a parent has died, you make a white carnation instead of a red carnation.
네네 제 기억으론 그런 것 같아요.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. And you make it out of paper. Like you use scissors and cut it out of paper. And you
네.
give it to the parents and they wear it.
네.
So, okay. Did you say you've never made one of these carnations? Is that what you said? Or have you done this before?
저는 많이 만들었죠.
Okay, you have. Okay. Do you sorry, I'm digging into this, but I just want to understand it. Do you make the carnation before Parents' Day and then give it to them on Parents' Day, or do you make it on Parents' Day?
아마 정확히 제가 그때가 기억이 나진 않는데
Okay, sure.
그냥 합리적으로 추측을 해보면
Yeah.
그날 학교에 가서 학교에서
야,
만들어서 집에 가서 달아주지 않았을까요?
Okay, but Parents' Day is a day off from school, right? Like it's
아닐걸요?
oh, people still go to school on Parents' Day?
네.
Oh, okay. So here's why I'm confused because I know on Children's Day is a day off for sure, right?
네,
You don't
네.
okay, but Parents' Day is not a day off. Is that what you're saying?
네네네. 빨간 날이 아니에요. 쉬는 날 아니에요.
Okay, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, so children go to school on Parents' Day. They make carnations at school, like they learn how, or the teachers help them, or whatever.
네.
And then when you come home from school, you say, here's your flower, right?
그렇죠.
Oh, cool. Okay, makes sense.
그거랑 편지도 같이 써서.
And you write a letter to them. Yeah,
네.
sure. Okay. So the letter that you write, do you write two letters, one for each parent, or do you write one letter for both of them?
그건 기억이 안 나는데
Okay.
같이 써줬던 것 같은데요. 왜냐면은 두 개 쓰면은 좀 비교될 수가 있잖아요.
They'll start comparing. Yeah, fair enough.
그래서 하나로 쓰지 않았을까
Okay.
싶은데.
All right, and I'm asking a lot of questions because honestly, I just don't know like how this holiday works, but I am genuinely curious. Like, so the letter that you write is this is a little weird. I'm just trying to understand. Does the letter basically say like thank you, or is it like, do you talk about what you did in the most recent year? Like what type of content would you put in that letter?
그거는 감사를 표현하는 편지예요.
All right, makes sense.
네,
Thank you.
저를 낳아주시고 이렇게 키워주셔서 감사합니다. 이렇게.
Okay, so then not Parents' Day, Mother's Day and Father's Day in our culture, it's very similar. You're thankful to your parent, your mother or your father. You usually get a card or a letter for them. So like you would write, thanks for everything, blah blah blah. So that's the same. On Mother's Day, I would say that we often, not always, but often give our mother flowers. But it would be more like a bouquet rather than like a carnation. We don't make it, we just buy it. And Mother's Day, I would say the main tradition, the one that I think of, is usually we take our mother out to brunch for like a nice breakfast restaurant kind of place. And so breakfast places are very, very busy on Mother's Day, and flower shops are very busy on Mother's Day. And then Father's Day is completely different. Like you might get them a card, but usually you would get them some like small gift, like a simple gift, like a tie is the most basic example, like just some kind of like accessory clothing. If you got something really nice, you could get them like a watch or maybe a hat, some kind of accessory. And then the best gift for Father's Day is just to leave them alone and not do anything with them. They want to like avoid their family and just relax or watch TV or sleep or do nothing. So that's the best gift for a father, is to give them nothing.
안 그래도 그걸 들으면서
Yeah.
되게 큰 차이가 있다고 느껴졌거든요.
Oh, really? How so?
그러니까 어머니한테
Between
주는
Father and Mother's Day. Yeah, it's different.
네네네.
Yeah.
네, 그러니까 어머니한테는 뭔가 시간을 같이 써주는 느낌이고, 근데 반면에 아버지한테는 그 정반대인 시간과 상관없는 그냥 주고 끝나는
Exactly. Yeah.
그 느낌이네요.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The father wants to be left alone. They want to do nothing. So, yeah.
아, 그렇구나.
Okay. So you would get a carnation for your parents. It's not a day off. Is there any other like type of celebration that you would do after you get home for Parents' Day?
그 미국 캐나다랑 비슷하게 그 어머니의 날이랑 비슷하게 뭐 가족끼리 맛있는 거 먹고
Okay.
그냥 그 정도가 단 것 같아요.
Cool. Nice.
그리고 좀 큰 성인 자식들의 경우는 선물을 챙겨 드리죠. 그렇게 보면은 어머니의 날이랑 아버지의 날을 합친 것 같네요.
Okay. And then, so between generations, like everybody's a child. So you are a child, but your parents are also children. So if their grandparents are still here, do they still do something for their grandparents after they have children, or does it sort of cut off?
그거를 저도 생각해봤는데 이제 그 할머니 할아버지한테는 그 엄마 아빠 어머니 아버지 세대가 그 어린애들이 하듯이는 안 하는 것 같아요. 이젠 그냥 인사드리러 찾아뵙고 식사 한번 하고
Yeah, sure.
그냥 그 정도. 근데 막 카네이션을 달아드리거나 선물을 챙겨드리거나 그러지는 않는 것 같아요.
Okay, got it. Makes sense.
네, 그렇죠.
Yeah. I would say that's maybe the other thing about like Western Mother and Father's Day is a lot of people live, well, it depends on the family. A lot of families live pretty distant from each other. USA is very wide, like large place. So you can't actually always take your mom to brunch because you might live like thousands of miles away. So usually what people do in that case is they just call their parents and talk to them for 30 minutes or an hour or a while. But this is my impression of Korea, so I could be wrong. I feel like Korean children talk to their parents more often than Western children talk to their parents. Like how often? Maybe this is a personal question. How often do you talk to your mother?
근데 그거는 집마다 너무 차이가 날 것 같은데. 근데 저는 좀 특이한 경우거든요, 한국에서.
Yeah. Oh, really?
네, 저는 뭐 엄마랑 같이 살기도 사는데,
Okay.
뭐 그건 또 많은 아들들이 그러기도 하지만,
True.
근데 그 중에서도 저는 엄마랑 얘기를 좀 많이 하는 편이에요.
Yeah. Yeah. You tend to talk to your mom a lot.
많이 들어주는 편이죠.
More just listening.
네.
Yeah. But yeah, so in our culture, again, it depends on the family. I feel like people don't talk to their parents very often. Like maybe once a month feels like often to me. Like usually be less than once a month. And so like remembering to call your parents on Mother's Day and Father's Day is like it's pretty important for some people because they maybe don't talk to their parents very often. Where if for example, if you were living with your parent or talking to your parent every day or every week, like it wouldn't make sense to call them on Mother's Day because like, you know, it's like every other day. So it's a little more special if that makes sense.
근데 그게
Yeah.
물론 그 진짜 다른 집들이 어떤지 그 정확한 통계를 몰라서 그런데 저는 거기 되게 흥미로운 지점이 있다고 생각하거든요.
What's that?
왜냐면은 그 예전에 어디서 사람들한테 인생에서 가장 중요한 가치가 뭡니까? 이렇게 다 물어봐서 그 나라별로 사람들이 어떤 걸 제일 많이 중요하다고 얘기하는지 그 대답을 한 비율을 어디서 본 적이 있어요. 근데 뭐 유럽, 미국, 캐나다 이런 쪽은 뭐 가족, 건강 이런 게 되게 중요도가 높다고 나왔고
Okay.
한국은 그 돈.
Really?
근데 그런 글을 어디서 봤어요.
I would have almost expected the opposite, but maybe I can give you a theory if it's interesting. So let me repeat what you said, just because it's pretty interesting. You were saying, you know, different people have. If you ask them what's the most important thing, you know, people can say whatever they want, and there's a survey of what people said. And you're saying you saw a survey where in the West, people would either say family or health is maybe the most important thing. But if you asked somebody in Korea, they would say that money is the most important thing. Okay.
네.
So here's my theory, just based on just hearing this and whatever. Maybe people in the West already have money, so they think, oh, the thing I should worry about is health and family. But the people in Korea already have family, so they think, oh, the thing I need most is money.
오, 날카로운 통찰입니다.
Maybe. I don't know. Not a
근데
philosopher.
제가 이 지점이 되게 흥미롭다고 한 이유가 그렇게 그러니까 지프가 생각하기에는
Sure.
그러니까 아까 지프가 생각하기에는 그 한국의 자녀들이 미국, 캐나다의 자녀들보다 부모님이랑 더 얘기를 많이 하는 것 같다 얘기를 했잖아요.
Yeah.
그러니까 한국 사람들은 실제로는 부모님이랑 얘기를 더 많이 하면서 중요한 거는 돈이 중요해요라고
Right,
얘기를 하는 거고, 예, 미국, 캐나다는
Right.
그 부모님이랑 얘기를 안 하는데 가족이 중요해요 이렇게 대답을 한다는 거잖아요.
I think so. Maybe. It makes sense at least.
그렇죠. 좀 아이러니하죠.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little ironic, yeah.
예. 그리고 또 이런 동양에서 되게 막 가족적인 가치와 막 부모님에 대한 공경, 막 부모님을 존경하는 마음,
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Respect for the parents, yeah.
네, 그런 걸 되게 중요하게 여기잖아요.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying absolutely, but I mean that like specifically in Korean society, respect toward elders is like very, very important and like, you know, built into everything in society. So
네.
yeah.
근데 그 설문조사에는 완전히 반대로 나온다.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite. Yeah.
네, 그게 참 신기해요.
Yeah, it's interesting. But speaking of money, I know that a lot of Korean holidays, like the gifts that you have are exchanging money. Do you usually exchange any money during Parents' Day or no?
많이 그렇게 하죠.
Okay, so do the children give money to their parents or the parents give money to the children?
그 자식들이 줘야 되죠.
Okay,
그때는.
I see. Okay. Interesting. How much money would you usually give your parents? This doesn't have to be personal. I mean, generally, what would you think is normal?
글쎄요, 한 최소 10만 원?
10만 won. Oh, so like $10.
아니요.
10만 won? Oh,
$100.
no. $100? Is that right? Hold on.
네.
Yeah, okay.
$100,
$100.
$100.
Yeah, okay.
최소
Okay.
최소 제 생각엔.
Okay. But that's if you have a job. Before you have a job, would you still give your parents $100?
제가 성인이 되고 나서요?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I might not be saying this right. If you or if somebody is younger, like a younger child who doesn't have a job yet, would they still give their parents $100?
학교는 졸업했는데?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
학교는 졸업했는데 직업은 없는?
Yeah, okay.
그러면은 아예 안 주지 않을까요?
Okay, okay. You just don't give them any money.
예.
Okay.
네, 근데 그래도 괜찮아요.
Okay, all right. Good. Makes
아무
sense.
문제 없어요. 예.
Okay. Yeah, giving money in Western culture, we almost never do it. Like, it does happen, but it's pretty rare. Like, I can't imagine giving my parents money on Mother's Day or Father's Day. It doesn't make any sense to me.
그러니까 그게 되게 큰 문화 차이인 것 같아요.
Yeah, definitely a cultural difference. Yeah.
예. 그거 봤어요?
Mm-hmm.
예전부터 예전에 한번 유행한 꽃다발이 있는데
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
그 꽃다발에 꽃송이들이 있잖아요.
Okay, so in a bouquet,
네.
송이. What
네.
is 송이? I can't remember.
그
it's
꽃이
just,
이렇게
yeah, just okay, yeah, a bouquet of roses, yeah.
네, 그 꽃송이들이 있는데
Okay, yeah.
그 요 꽃송이들을 진짜 꽃 대신에
Mm-hmm.
그 막 5만 원짜리 지폐로
Like dollar bills.
네네 종이가 아니라 그 돈으로
Yeah.
그 지폐로 꽃송이를 접어서 만드는 거예요.
Oh, that's cool.
그렇게 하고 그 꽃송이 밑에는 그 지폐를 이렇게 막 말아가지고
Uh-huh.
그러니까 꽃다발을 다 돈으로 만드는 거죠.
That's cool.
그래서 그 꽃다발 아니 돈 꽃다발을
Yeah.
그렇게 주는.
Oh, I like that. If you ever send me a gift, send me that. I'm into that. Yeah, that's great. Wow. Okay.
근데 그런 게 한번 유행을 했었던 것 같아요. 지금도 많이 주겠죠 그렇게?
Okay, it's a recent trend. You're saying they didn't used to do that, or maybe they did that a long time too.
몇 년 전부터 많이 하는 것 같아요.
Okay. I saw a recent comedy. So like a stand-up comedian was talking about the worst possible bouquet gift. I don't know if you've heard of this. We have this business in the West called edible arrangements. Do you know this business? Edible arrangements. I'm not advertising right now, by the way. So edible arrangements is very famous for making flower bouquets, but all the bouquets are made out of fruit. Like
그래서 먹을 수 있는
yeah.
뭐 조합 이런 건가요?
Yeah, exactly. So most of the flower bouquets are made out of melons, such as honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon. But there's also like strawberries and blueberries. But they take all these fruits and they cut them into shapes, and then they make the shapes look like flowers. So it looks like a flower bouquet, but you can eat it. It's called edible arrangements. But the stand-up comedian who was talking about this was basically saying, if you give this gift to somebody, it's too much fruit. Like nobody can eat it because there's just too much. And then because you've like cut all the fruit, and because it takes a while to deliver, by the time it gets to them, it's already like started to get like kind of weird, and there's like it attracts bugs and flies immediately. Like all the flies want to just eat it, and so like even though it's called edible arrangements, you would never eat this because it all immediately just goes bad, and it's smells bad. It's just an awful gift. So,
그러니까요. 예.
yeah.
그러니까 그 컨셉을 듣자마자 저도 그렇게 확 이상할 것 같다는 생각부터
Yeah.
드는데.
Yeah, if you like look at a picture of it, or if you see it in the store, it looks really beautiful. But if you actually try to give it as a gift, it's not practical. It's it's really bad.
그러니까요.
Yeah.
그 전혀 먹고 슬플 것 같지 않아요.
Yeah, exactly. So,
그러니까 과일로 만든 꽃다발 대
yeah.
돈으로 만든 꽃다발 이러면
Yeah.
당연히 돈으로 만든 게 훨씬
Exactly.
좋겠네.
Yeah, yeah. Just take whatever, because they're expensive too. So if you were gonna buy edible arrangements and pay like $80, just take $80 in cash and make a bouquet out of that. That sounds way better.
그쵸. 근데 그 제가 얘기한 돈 꽃다발은
Mm-hmm.
$80로는 턱도 없어요.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
네, 그거 훨씬 더 많아야 돼요.
Okay, gotcha.
네, 아무튼 그렇군요.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of what else to ask about Parents' Day. What have I not asked that like so okay, as a Korean, you know what Parents' Day is. Like you understand it. But pretend I know nothing because I don't know anything. What have you not told me about Parents' Day that I need to know?
사실 되게 간단해서
Yeah, it's just simple.
네, 거의 다 얘기했거든요.
We've talked about everything.
근데
It's
좀
possible. Okay.
별거 없어요, 사실. 그냥 네, 어릴 때부터 학교에 가면
Yeah. Okay.
부모님께 네.
So there is so on your birthday, there's a birthday song, right?
네.
생일 축하합니다 or whatever. Happy birthday to you. Is there a Parents' Day song?
있어요.
Really? Oh, see, I didn't know that. Tell me what the Parents' song is.
맞네. 근데 전 다 까먹었어요. 멜로디도 기억이 안 나는데 사실.
Okay. Uh-huh.
네. 그거를 부르는 사람이 남아 있나? 저는 진짜 안 부른 지 한참 된 것 같은데.
Okay.
아무튼 가사가
Mm.
그 이제 우리 부모님들이
음.
그 어떻게 고생해서 나를 낳으시고
Mhm.
고생해서 나를 키웠는가에 대한 노래입니다.
Okay. So you don't remember the exact lyrics, but
네.
it's something about like that where it's just like, oh, we're so thankful that you've given us life and whatever.
네, 그래서 그 가사가
Mhm.
그 막 무슨 막 뭐더라? 뭐 힘든 몸으로 뭐 나를 낳으시고 약간 뭐 그런 가사거든요. 처음에.
Sure. Yeah.
그래서 그거를 좀 밈으로 가끔 쓰는 사람들도 있어요.
Oh.
그러니까 뭔가 어떤 분야에서 그 아버지 어머니 부모님 같은 좀 고생을 많이 하고 그 뭔가를 많이 이룬 존재를 되게 좀 높여줄 때 뭐 무슨 버지 뭐뭐로 우리를 뭐 해주시고 이런 식으로 좀 밈으로 쓰기도 하더라고요.
I see. So there's a meme version of it where it's just making the song, I guess, maybe more absurd of like how important it is or how respected it is, but just kind of making
네.
a joke out of it.
네.
Okay.
그런 것도 있고요.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another question. So on Christmas, like there's, Christmas songs, traditional Christmas songs, and lots of famous musicians will make covers or versions of those songs. Is there any like famous musicians who has done a version of the Parents' Day song?
아니요, 그런
Okay,
건
okay.
없죠.
So it's more like a traditional song that just some people know and might sing, but it's not like it's not like that type of song.
맞아요.
Okay, it's very very old style.
네.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right.
네. 그리고 뭐
More of an
그런 크리스마스에 비교하면 되게 규모가 작은 기념일이죠.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
네.
Okay, Parents' Day.
근데 어머니의 날이랑 아버지의 날이 따로 있으면 그러면은 만약에 가족이 다 같이 있어요.
Yeah, sure.
그러니까 한 집에 만약에
Sure.
같이 있으면
Mhm.
자식들이 어머니의 날에 어머니를 위해 뭔가를 해주잖아요.
Mhm. Mhm.
그럼 그때 아버지는 그냥 옆에서 그냥 이렇게 보고 있어요?
No. Because okay, it's a good question. I shouldn't laugh at you, but like, so with the holidays being separate, on Mother's Day, even though the focus is on the mother, the father and the children will usually work together to try to like give gifts to the mother or like take her out to lunch and have a good time and whatever. The father takes part in being a part of appreciating and giving a gift.
그쵸,
And on
그쵸.
on Father's Day, it's the other way too. Is the mother and the children both work together to completely ignore the father and not do anything and leave him alone.
근데
Yeah.
근데 뭔가 잘못된 것 같아요.
Oh, really?
아니 아무것도 안 하게 해준다는 말은
Mhm.
그 반대로 자식들도 아무것도 할 필요가 없다는 말이잖아요.
Yeah. Mhm.
아니 뭔가 좀 거기 아빠들이 약간 가스라이팅 당한 게 아닌가.
No. It's not like that. It's very appreciated because, like, so the father, for example, at least traditionally, not always, but the father often is also what we would call the handyman in the house. So
네.
handyman means that you have to like fix things when they break,
그쵸.
or it could just be like solve problems, like like make a reservation at the restaurant, or go mow the lawn, or you do house. I'm not saying they do all the household chores. I'm not saying they do everything, but just there's like specific things that they tend to do. But on Father's Day, like if something breaks, then you don't like go ask your dad for help. You just leave him alone. Like fix it yourself, or it'll get fixed tomorrow or next week. But like, don't come to him with a bunch of problems. Like you need to do this, you need to do that. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's a relaxing day. It's a day off.
그렇구나. 야, 쉽지 않네요. 아버지 노릇하기가 거기는. 아, 뭐 여기도 뭐 똑같은데.
Sure.
아, 그래도 그렇네요.
Yeah. And maybe another thing that I guess this is not like exactly correct for every family, but like traditionally some fathers will like to go fishing by themselves. So on Father's Day, maybe some people would go fishing on that day just by themselves or with their friends or something like that. So that could happen too. Yeah.
아, 낚시는 좋죠.
Yeah, it's relaxing. You just chill and do nothing. So. Yeah. Parents' Day. The thing that shocked me the most from all the things I learned today is that it's not a day off from work or school. I didn't know that. So that really shocked me.
그러면은 미국 캐나다는 공휴일이에요?
No. No, you're right. It's not a day off for Mother's Day or Father's Day, but I guess because it was a part of Family Month, I had the assumption that holiday was also a day off. So it was just a misunderstanding for me. But you're right. It's the same. Yeah.
좋습니다. 그러면 제프는 이렇게 결혼하고 막 하고 나서도 어버이날을 챙기나요?
You're talking about specifically Mother and Father's Day?
둘 다.
Sure. Yeah.
그냥 아무거나. 예.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Since we're married, would I help? Yeah, okay. How would we celebrate with the other families? It's a good question. Let me think about it. This is one of those things where like
제프의 부모님?
let me think about it.
예, 나의 부모님한테 그 어머니 아버지의 날 때
I think what would usually happen is that my wife would help me celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day with my parents, but at the same time, I would also help my wife celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day with her parents. But then there's the question of if we're going for brunch, like we can't, like we probably wouldn't have brunch everyone all together. So whose family do we go with? So yeah, you know, I've just never really thought about it that much, but I guess we usually celebrate it with my parents because my parents were close, like nearby. Like I don't mean close like personally, but like in the same location, like in the same city. But my wife's parents, like I said, they live far away, like as an example. And so we wouldn't go to brunch with them because it's not possible. So, but in the situation where both parents are in the same city, I don't know. I honestly have never thought about that. I don't know what the answer is. Yeah. Maybe you go to brunch twice, like you do an early brunch and a late brunch, or you do a brunch and a dinner, like you did dinner with one family and brunch with the other. I don't know. Never thought about it.
아, 그렇네요.
Yeah.
그 깔끔하게 아무랑도 안 먹으면 제일 간단하지 않아요?
Yeah, that would be best.
그렇죠. 그냥 아무도 안 보면
Yeah.
그게 최고네요.
Yeah. True. Yep. But if I wrote a like a card to my parents or my dad or my mother, then Rachel, I said my wife's name, but that's fine. My wife Rachel would probably also write her name on the card, and I would do the same for her parents. Like I would write, happy Mother's Day, happy Father's Day. So yeah.
그렇구나. 그렇게 카드를 쓰는 게 좀 흔한 편이에요?
Yeah, it's very common. Yeah.
그 카드 쓸 때는 문구를 좀 길게 써요?
Do we write a lot or a little? Is that what you're asking?
네, 길게 써요, 글을?
Yeah. Usually just a little. Like you'd get a card and maybe write 2 sentences, maybe 1 sentence or 2 sentences. Very short.
그냥 갑자기 그 영화 Her 그 그녀 와킨 피닉스가 나오는
I know the
Joaquin
movie.
Phoenix?
I saw it pretty
Joaquin
recently, actually. What about it?
아, 그래요?
Yeah.
거기서 그 주인공이 원래 하는 일이 그 카드에 글 대신 써주는 사람이잖아요.
Oh, his job, right? His job is to write cards for other people, like to make beautiful, like poetic cards. That's not a real job. Like that's just in the movie. Yeah, that's like the concept for that is like it's a sci-fi movie, and so that's sort of like a sci-fi like future job maybe, but nobody has that job right now. No.
그렇구나.
Yeah.
아, 맞다. 하긴 그것도 미래의 이야기니까. 근데 그 루시 사반다?
What movie?
아니, 그 Her 그녀에서.
Oh, that's her name.
아니, 그 Her 영화에서
Yeah.
그 AI 여자친구한테 대신 써달라고 하지 않아요?
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, she writes the cards.
아, 그쵸.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Interesting.
근데 새삼 그게 현실이 됐다고 생각하니까 좀 신기하네요.
Yeah, there was a trend about maybe 10 years ago. Maybe it was more. I don't know. But when the internet was first, like 1998 or 1997, that sort of era, instead of sending like paper cards, people would send e-cards. They would call it e-card, like electronic cards. That was a trend for a while, but I don't think people do that anymore. It was very weird.
이 카드는 뭐 이메일이에요?
Yeah. You send an email, and in the email, so this is why it's weird. Is usually the email would have a link, and the link would go to a website, and then on the website it would be the card with blah 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 blah. But it's all just advertising and stuff, and so like it became like very intrusive advertising that people don't like. You'd have to like sign up for enter your email here, and then. Well, I guess to send the card, you have to put in their email. So then they're starting getting like spam messages and stuff. So it's just bad.
최악인데요.
Yeah, it's annoying.
와.
Yeah.
어쨌든 그런 카드는
Yeah. But anyway, what I was going to say though is that back in the day, like during that trendy area, for Mother and Father's Day, you might send them an e-card instead of a regular card. Yeah.
그러면은 좋습니다.
Yeah.
저는 편지를 써본 적이 까마득하네요.
Yeah, you can do it.
네. 근데 저는 뭐 맨날 얘기를 하니까 편지를 또 따로 쓰기는 좀 쉽지 않아요.
Makes it harder, I guess. Yeah, maybe so. All right. Well, okay. I guess I don't think I have anything else to ask. Is this a good place to wrap up?
뭐 그런 거요? 생각 못한 게 또 있나? 아니 뭐 사실 우리 이제 토크 고수들 아닙니까? 이제 우리가 몇 달간 매주 얘기를 하면서 얘기는 하면 할 수 있어요, 그냥.
Right.
그러면 지프 생각에 어머니의 날, 아버지의 날이 분리되어 있는 거랑 어버이의 날로 합쳐져 있는 거랑 뭐가 더 괜찮은 것 같아요?
It's a good question. Honestly, I think it's really cool that they're combined into a single day in Korea. Like, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I obviously being a Westerner, I'm more familiar with them being separate, but I definitely understand the concept of them being together. It seems better to me. I don't know, but I think having them separate, Mother's Day and Father's Day, like I said, they're a little bit different. They kind of have their own flavor, and it sort of makes how do I say this? Okay, let me say it this way. I'm trying not to say this in a way that sounds stupid. When mothers give birth, they have a very, very difficult job, right? Like,
그렇죠.
it's very painful and it's very hard, and they have to carry the baby for 9 months. There's all this work that's involved, and the father has like a lot of responsibility and a lot of work too, but it's not to the same degree in that sense.
그렇죠.
Biologically, it's not the same.
그럼요.
And so when I talk about Mother's Day, like, you have to like do a lot for the mother and be very affectionate and all these things. And for the father, it's like just kind of leave them alone. I think part of that is because when celebrating Mother's Day, there's more of an emphasis on like, hey, you actually did the work of giving birth. Like you actually, you were in labor, you did all this. And so I think we emphasize Mother's Day a little bit more like as being important than Father's Day, which is fine. So there's a stronger emphasis there. So that having that separation, I think, gives them these different flavors. Where having them together, maybe I don't know. It might feel like it's not recognizing the mother enough for the additional separate work that they do compared to the father. I don't know. But I do like the concept of them being together. I like that too. So I don't know.
네. 근데 저는 그 부분이요.
Yeah.
또 재밌는 생각할 부분이 있다고 생각하거든요.
Oh yeah. What's that?
왜냐면은요. 그 지프 말대로 어머니의 날에 어머니들이 자식을 낳기 위해 그 신체적, 육체적으로 되게 힘든 고생을 하는 걸 좀 더 생각해 주자라고 생각할 수 있잖아요. 근데 사실 그게 가장 많이 생각이 되어야 할 날은 자녀들의 생일 아닐까요?
Yeah, true.
그렇죠.
On your birthday is the day that happens. Yeah.
네. 그러니까 저는 사실 어릴 때는 아니고
Right.
종종 그런 생각을 하는데 내 생일에 우리 엄마가 제일 힘들고 고생을 했는데
Yeah.
나 말고 엄마를 좀 축하해줘야 되는 거 아닌가? 이거 그런 생각도 들더라고요.
Right. Do you think that's a normal thing that most Koreans think, or do you think that's just a random thought that you had? Like,
제 머릿속에 떠오르는 생각입니다.
Honestly, maybe this makes me a bad person. I've literally never thought about that, but you're correct.
사실 많이 그래요. 근데
Okay.
저도 그냥 어쩌다가 그런 생각이 든
Sure.
거고.
But you're right. Your birthday is also Mother's Day for some mother.
그러니까요.
Yeah. Fair enough.
네, 그런 생각을 하게 됐었습니다. 한번.
Well, I mean, I have heard this is that in Korea on your birthday you eat the seaweed soup, right?
미역국, 그쵸?
Yeah, and that is my understanding is that that is related to the mother eating that same soup after she gives birth, right?
맞아요, 맞아요.
Yeah, so you have a little bit of a connection there in Korean culture. We don't really have that in our culture, like the same food connection, nothing like that. So yeah.
그렇구나.
Yeah.
아니 뭐 이건 또 여담인데 좀 다른 데로 빠지는 이야기인데 제가 예전에 그 군 생활을 군대 대신에 그 막 시청, 군청 이런 데서 일하는 걸 했다 했잖아요. 근데 제가 있던 그 지역이 그 미역이 유명한 곳이었어요.
Oh, really? Why is that?
아, 그 바다 근처 바다에
Oh,
미역이 많이
just that
나서.
location specifically happened to be very
네.
famous for seaweed soup while you were in the army.
네네네.
오케이.
그 지역이.
Okay, okay. Just that.
그래서 예,
neighborhood.
그래서 그 지역에서는 그 어머니들이 그 새로 아기를 낳으면 그 지역에서 뭐 돈 같은 것도 주면서 미역을 선물로 줘요.
Ah, so in that specific area,
네.
they would also give money. Wait, sorry. they would give seaweed.
네, 네.
Wow. Okay.
그 돈도 주고 미역도 주고.
Wow. They would give money and seaweed as a gift.
네.
Interesting.
네, 아무튼 그랬습니다.
Wow. That's cool.
뭐 그리고 또 깊게 좀 들어가서 이 어버이날, 어머니, 아버지의 날을 바라보며 우리의 사회를 더 생각해 볼 만한 지점이 하나 있다고 생각합니다. 문화마다 그 성 역할에 대한 인식이 좀 차이가 나잖아요.
Wait. Hold on. What is song yakar in this case? Like.
성, 남자, 여자, 남성, 여성.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
그래서 뭐
the
남자는
roles of the parents,
이렇고.
the gender roles. Yeah. Go ahead.
그렇죠.
Okay.
근데 뭐 저만의 생각인지는 몰라도 한국인들이 보통 생각하는 건 서구권에서 좀 더 성 역할이 뭔가 좀 벽이 없다, 좀 평등하다, 좀 비슷하다.
Sure.
그렇게 느끼거든요.
Yeah. There's a
근데-
feeling that they're similar.
네, 근데 어머니의 날이랑 아버지의 날은 구분되어 있잖아요.
구분. Sorry that I'm not following. I'm sure that-
떨어져 있죠.
Okay.
그러니까
Right.
어머니의 날이 있고 아버지의 날이 있고.
Okay. If there's a separate Mother and Father's Day.
네. 근데 반면에 한국은 어버이의 날로 그냥 합쳐져 있고.
They're together in Korean culture. Yep.
네. 근데 한국에서 사람들이 생각할 때 아버지는 이래야 돼, 어머니는 이래야 돼, 이렇게 생각하는 것과
Yeah.
그 미국에서 어머니는 이래야 돼, 아버지는 이래야 돼 생각하는 그 차이가 다를 수 있잖아요.
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
네, 근데 제가 이제 아까 얘기했던 말대로라면 뭔가 그냥 우리가 막연하게 한국인, 동양인으로서 생각할 때 서양은 그런 역할이 크게 막 나눠져 있지 않을 것 같은데, 근데 이 기념일만 보면 어머니의 날, 아버지의 날 이렇게 분리되어 있고, 한국은 이게 그냥 합쳐져 있네? 그냥 이렇게 보이는 게 좀 인터레스팅 하지 않습니까?
Yeah, it is interesting. I agree. It probably comes from like some of these cultural differences with like how we separate or not separate gender roles, and that maybe affects how these holidays were created or came about. But yeah, maybe so.
네,
That's great.
그렇더라고요.
Yeah.
또 근데 그런 거 보면은 되게 그 가족에 대한 그 뭐라고 해야 될까, 고정관념, 좀 스테레오타입.
Yeah. I think so.
좀 그런 게 서구권에서도 좀 많이 있는 것 같아요.
True. Yeah, definitely there is. Yeah, I mean it's it's definitely changed over time. I think like the gender roles have become more fluid in Western culture, where kind of everybody does everything a little bit. So it's mixed, but yeah, like I said, at least biologically, like there's
아,
there's
그쵸.
there's a certain like separation that's required. But yeah,
엄청난 차이가 있죠.
yeah.
예. 아 근데 그래서 저는 아까부터 그거를 얘기를 하려고 하다가 그 지프가 그 출산 때문에 이게 완전히 다르고 그러니까 아기를 낳는 게그 어머니가 고생을 그냥 엄청 많이 하는 거니까
Yep.
그 이걸 좀 더 기리는 차원에서 그 어머니의 날이 따로 있는 게 아닌가 이런 생각을 그 들었을 때 오 좀 설득이 되더라고요. 네, 오 그거 좀 맞는 말인 것 같은데 이렇게 생각을
Right.
했는데 근데 이제 거기서 아니 그렇게 치면은 그 자식들 생일에 그거를
Yeah. It's on your birthday.
자식들 생일을 그렇게
That's
만들어야
basically
되는
Mother's Day.
예. 그쵸
Interesting.
그게 맞는 거 아닌가
Yeah.
아무튼 그런 그냥 좀 생각을 꼬리에 꼬리를 물고 해봤습니다.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the idea of combining them. I think it's cool. So yeah, that's my final opinion on it is if they were combined into Parents' Day, I think it works. I think it's a good idea. I don't know. That's my basic feeling.
그 왜냐면 이제 갈수록 아버지의 역할 그러니까 원래 아버지들이 하는 일이라고 생각하는 것들을 어머니들이 많이 하기도 하고 또 반대도 그렇잖아요.
Yeah, true. Yep.
네. 그래서 만약에 워킹맘이랑 그냥 집에서 그냥 있는 아빠 만약에 그런 집이면
Yeah, that exists too.
네 그러면은 그 어머니의 날에 좀 엄마 가만히 냅둬라 좀 쉬게 하자 좀 그럴 수도 있는지 좀
I
궁금하거든요.
never thought about that, but maybe. Let me think about that for a second.
그럴 수도 있지 않나 이렇게 그러진 않아요.
No, yeah. So if it was opposite, where the mom is working and the dad is taking care of the house, would you on Mother's Day and Father's Day sort of like swap the style of holiday it is? I don't think so. I think it's more personality based, where just generally the personality, not always, but generally the mother, wants to go out and do something, and the father wants to be left alone. Yeah, I don't think it changes in that case, but it's an interesting point. It's a fair point. It's more personality related. Yeah.
아, 그렇군요. 좋습니다. 그러면은 또 더 꼬리에 꼬리를 물 게 없으면 이쯤에서 마무리를 할까요?
Yeah. Let's wrap up. I don't have anything else.
네네 좋습니다. 그래서 이번 시간은 어버이날을 맞아 이 양편의 그 어버이날 관련된 날들에 대해서 얘기를 해봤고요.
Yep.
네, 5월은 가족의 달이니까 다들 부모님 또 자녀, 형제, 자매 이렇게 가족들과 또 사이가 더 좋아지고 행복하시면 좋겠습니다.
Right. Yep. So yeah, we talked about Parents' Day, how it's in May, and the different related things about how families celebrate. So the differences between our cultures. Yeah, it's interesting.
네, 그러면 저희는 또 다음 주에 유익하고 흥미로운 내용으로 돌아오겠고요. 이번 에피소드 초반에서 얘기한 것과 같이 저희는 항상 주제를 고르는 게 힘들기 때문에 주제 추천을 제발 부탁드립니다. 우리가 50회가 넘었어요. 그래서
Yeah, we've done more than 50 episodes. Taeyong Same thinks it's hard to come up with topics, so put some in the comments. I don't agree. I'll come up with good topics too, but yeah, please leave some in the comments. Then at least we know what you're interested in. So
아니 뭐 엉덩이, 손짓 이런 거.
I thought it would be funny. Yeah, so I suggested we talk about butts, but yeah, it was not chosen by Taeyong Sam. If you want to hear about butts, if you want us to talk about butts, post in the comments and tell us that's what you want to hear. But yeah, I'll come up with better topics. I'll do better.
아 그래요? 아니요 엉덩이도 하려면 할 수 있죠. 네. 좋습니다. 네, 그러면 저희는 이만 이쯤에서 마무리하겠습니다. 지금까지 저는 반반 팟캐스트 하프앤하프의 정태용이었습니다. 감사합니다.
And I'm Jeep. You've been listening to Half and Half. We'll see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye bye.